up. Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ayana, and if you're new to my channel, thank you for tuning in. First of all, hat. Y'all, my hair is a mess, and I really didn't feel like fixing it for this video, so I just threw a hat on the top of it. And yeah, the freaking hat keeps flying off, so if it comes off about before the end of this video. But all right, so today I'm going to be doing a story time, y'all, and I wanted to share my experience with moving out at 18 years old, and being as a teen mom. Does that make sense? So yeah, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of backstory about me, right? About who I be. And all right, so when I was younger, right, I was always very, very mature for my age, like very mature for my age. I've been babysitting since before it was even legal for me to be babysitting. And I always found a way to make money. Like I would go babysit my cousins and I would make a couple dollars every weekend. So once I turned 14, my parents stopped taking care of me. And I had to basically just do for myself because like they wasn't giving me no money to go nowhere, to do nothing. Like every time I asked, it would just no, or I can't, or this or that. I can say like they did pay for like my school stuff. Like they did like the important things, I guess, like school stuff. I got sometimes birthday gifts, but not really stuff like that. But y'all know it's way more than that in life. Like as a teenager with your friends, you need money. So when I turned 15, I started working at a hair salon. And actually my sister was working there, so I became the wash girl for the hair salon. Y'all see my hair. I can't do hair. Nothing about hair at all. I like a little bit now, but then not at all. And I was in there tearing people's hair up. I don't even know why they kept me on as long as they did, because I could not do hair. I was in there burning people's hair out with the blow dryers. It was just a mess. But yeah, so I always found a way to get my own money and stuff like that. I was always very mature. Like I said, I was babysitting a lot. So it was no surprise when I got pregnant at 16. Like, if you don't know about the law of attraction, you really should like learn it, because like I feel as though when you allow a little girl to play with baby dolls and stuff like that, yeah, it's cute, but you got them pushing strollers down the street. They're literally attracting it into their lives. So you can't be surprised when they become a teen mom, because as a little girl, they'll be like, what is the word? You're like grooming them to become a mom, if that makes sense. So yeah, I became pregnant at 16. And then once I had my son, I was 17. But when I found out I was pregnant, I was living at my dad's house. Yo, my dad found out I was pregnant. It was this big thing. He kicked me out. So I ended up moving with my mom. I ended up having a lot of complications in my pregnancy, which I'm going to do another story time on. And I actually had to go, when I was 5 months pregnant, I had to go into the hospital for 2 months. Well, almost 2 months. And I ended up having my son at 34 weeks. So he's premature, 4 pounds, 4 ounces. He was literally like tiny, little tiny baby. Yeah, so lived with my mom. And it was like, I was just becoming really, really annoyed, because me and my mom, we don't have the best relationship, especially at that time. We did not have, our relationship is getting better now, but then our relationship was not that good. I was not a good communicator. I hot head, like you couldn't tell me nothing. I was stubborn, all of that. I knew like it was my way or the highway. That's how it was. So it was that, and like I wasn't like bad, but it was just me and her would always go at it. We was always neck to neck, and like I couldn't take it no more. And then with having a baby, and she like, no, don't do this with the baby, do that with the baby, don't do it. Feed the baby like this. The baby is crying. You not gonna pick up the baby crying. I was irked. Every little thing she would just like nagging in my ear all the time. So we was always arguing, always. And one day she kicked me out. So I had to go back to my dad's house. But yo, my mom and my dad live down the street from each other. So my dad lives here, my mom lives here, literally like 2.5 blocks away from each other. So like I would literally keep having to, because this was going on before I even had my son. I was getting kicked out, going back there, going back there. It was just nonstop. And you know, when it's you and the baby, it's different. Like you don't want to be going back and forth. No, you don't want to be doing it. It's not just you that you're moving no more. So when my dad kicked me out, it was just me and a fetus. But now that my mom kicking me out, it's me and my baby. So I gotta move. I can't put all my stuff in my dirty clothes hamper and drag it down the street no more, because that's what I used to do. I can't do that. So I had to literally pack all my stuff up. And I think my dad actually came and helped me move my stuff, because I had his crib, I had everything. So I had to move everything. And thinking I'm going into a better situation, because y'all, at my mom's house, that's when I failed to mention. At my mom's house, I was sleeping on a twin size mattress with my child. Well, he had his crib, but you know, babies never sleep in their cribs. And then on the other side of the room, my little sister was sleeping on a twin size mattress. So it was just already an uncomfortable situation to begin with. We was in this, like, not, you know, middle-sized room, if you know Philly houses, a middle room. So it wasn't that big. And it's all this newborn baby stuff all over the place. It was just a mess. It was just crazy. So I thought, okay, I'm moving to my dad's house. I'm gonna have my own room with my baby, my son. Everything was gonna be cool, bro. I don't know why I thought that. I know my dad. I don't know why I thought that. So it was a better situation sleep-wise, more comfortable. But he had this girlfriend that I did not like, not one bit, okay? At all. And I don't care if she see this video, you know, listen. Me and her both had babies at the same time. Literally, like, my little sister is a month and like 1 day older than my son. So it was just a lot going on. And like, my dad is like a very nonchalant, hard body, manly man. Like, he was building our house that we was living in, like redoing it while he was doing it while we were living in the house. And it's been like that for years. This is just who he is. He's not, he has no emotions. The only emotion he has is anger. Like, is anger. He has no emotions. He mumble talk. He don't, yeah. It's toxic if you're not understanding where I'm getting it, right? So every night, like, he already had, you know, he's upset because, okay, his oldest daughter just had a baby, 17 years old, she got a son. He just had a brand new baby. Him and his girlfriend, they going at it and stuff like that. He just not happy, I guess. And he was, but every single night, he will call me downstairs, or call all of us, like a family meeting, every single night, a family meeting. And he's just yelling at the top of his lungs about a piece of dust on a step, or about how clothes was left in the dryer for 2 hours too long, or how the juice was halfway drunk, or like everything. Like, and I couldn't take it. Like, I was really burnt out, because like, you want this house to be spick and span. Like, it's not two babies and two moms living in here. Like, it would just, listen, it was just too much. And she was, yeah, we got to get to her, because this is, yeah, it was like this big thing that had happened prior to me moving out. I'm not really going to get into detail about that. But basically, in other words, like, it was just like a real big thing. So basically, she was saying something about my son, like how she wasn't going to watch him. Mind you, I was watching my little sister like almost every single day. And word got back to me that she was talking about me and my son, about what she not going to do behind my back. And I'm just like, I can't take this no more. I couldn't do it. It was just too toxic, too much. And like, when my dad would do like those little huddles or whatever the hell he called it, my son would get scared and he would cry like hard. And he had to be what? He wasn't even one yet. He wasn't even one yet. He probably was like 10 months. probably like 10 months. And he would cry. And I didn't like that because don't make him cry. Like, don't make him, he shouldn't be scared of you. And you shouldn't be making him feel like that. Like, I would just know. Like, I don't know. You're not going to do that. So I'm like, I got to move. Like, I have to go. I had a job working at Perkins, which was a restaurant in Philly. And then I actually I just got a job at Rite Aid. I was making $7.35 an hour. And then I actually quit Perkins because I was making $2.35 an hour there. It was right across the street from each other. And so I quit them, and it was like plus tips because, you know, as a server, or was it $2.85? Something like that. But that was the minimum wage for servers. So I got the job at Rite Aid at $7.35. Y'all couldn't tell me nothing. I was rich. It might not seem like a lot, but listen, it's gonna make it work. So I didn't have no money saved up because I just bought a car. I just bought my first car, so I didn't have no more money saved up. I bought my first car in August of that year, and now we're at like getting close to the end of August. No. I bought my first car in July of that year, and now we're moving into August, and it was time for me to go. So I didn't say anything. I honestly didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I was going to do. I know that my cousin, she had her own place. So I got in contact with her, and I just asked her, like, can I come stay with you for a couple of weeks? Because, you know, until I find another place to stay, because I can't stay here. So she's like, of course, yeah. And, you know, she had her own family, like her kids and stuff. So, like, I don't know. Like, I just started packing my stuff. I didn't say nothing to my dad. My dad really respected my privacy, so he never came into my room. So he never even noticed that for like the last week I was packing. Like, all my stuff was in bags. I had trash. All my clothes was in trash bags. Everything was out the closets. Everything was just packed. I was moving. It was done. And one day, his girlfriend, and I knew she was being sneaky. She like peeked in my room, like opened the door, peeked in my room, and was like, oh, nothing, like did something like that, and then popped out. So never said nothing, nothing ever came about it, whatever. So I thought, and it just so happened that was the night before I was actually moving out. I was moving out the next day. I wasn't telling my dad anything at the moment because I know how my dad was going to react. And I didn't want him to react the way he was going to in front of my son. So I'm like, it's best if I get all my stuff out and get my son in a safe place. And then I'll come back and I'll have a talk with him. That was my plan. Now, what bummerclot mean? Because I don't want to say the word, but I just feel like bummerclot is the right word. I don't know. I don't want to say the B word. But this girl goes and tells my dad, yeah, oh, well, I don't think Yanni can watch what's the name, such and such, because she's moving out. So my dad like, what? He like, and I know this because this is what my dad told me that she said. So she's like, yeah, she's moving out or whatever. Yeah, I thought you knew. You know, y'all sleep in the same bed every single night. You know damn well this man don't know. You know what you're doing. And that's why I don't like her, because she always came in the middle of me and my dad relationship. Me and my dad never had the best relationship to begin with, but it was in our understanding. Soon as she came in, that's when I got kicked out of my dad's house. Literally, like, that was the first time I ever got kicked out of my parents' house, which was my dad. He kicked me out for her. Like, probably like 2 weeks after meeting her. So, anyway, back to the story. So she goes and tells him that. So my dad is a truck driver, so he's at work. So I know I got enough time to me and my friend, we running in there, getting everything, putting everything in my car. My cousin, she didn't live too far from my dad, so I'm driving there, dropping stuff off, going back, doing trips, getting everything. Last trip, y'all. We almost made it. I'm in the house, getting his high chair, getting stuff, trying to get the last little things that was in here. All I hear is, that's the truck sound. Parking, child. My heart dropped. And he has cameras inside his house. So I'm watching him on a camera. I'm like, all right, I'm here. I ran out the house. I ran in the side. I started throwing stuff in the car. So he comes in or whatever. I mean, he walked past. He like, oh, so you moving out, right? So you moving out, right? So you better, he like, you better have everything out of my goddamn house in 30 minutes. You got 30 minutes to get the fuck out of my house. So I'm like, all right, little do you know, everything already done. Y'all, he go upstairs. He see the hangers all over the floor. He see everything is cleared out. Flipped. He completely flipped out. Like, he went ape. Like, he started yelling and screaming. But mind you, I'm already still putting the last little, because while he was upstairs, I ran back in, got the stuff, came back out, and was just throwing stuff in the car. And I shut the door, and I got in the car. He must have ran down the steps or something, because before I knew it, it was a high chair hitting my window in my car. He done threw the whole damn high chair from over his balcony at my car. Like, sir, is it that serious? Was it really that serious? Like, you wanted me to stay that bad that you had to do this? That bad? So I was mad. Like, I was really mad. Like, no, he did not. And then he was already mad because I bought my car. Like, it's like he just didn't want me to grow up. He didn't want me to progress. Like, y'all, let me just put this in there, right? My dad told me when he found out I was pregnant, he told me that I was going to be nothing. This was the talk that the day that he found out I was pregnant, that I was going to be nothing, that I was going to be living in the projects on Section 8, and I was literally going to be nothing. I was going to be working at McDonald's. I wasn't going to be worth nothing, and I'm having a baby, all of this stuff in front of his girlfriend. And then kicked me out in the same sentence. So it was a huge, like, that just, it did something to me. It really did something to me. Like, that, having my son, moving house to house. Now I'm staying with my cousin, sleeping on her kids' beds. And I promise y'all, I prayed. Like, I prayed so hard. I cried. I prayed. Most importantly, I worked. I worked my ass off. I was doing 15-hour shifts every single day. That $7.35 an hour was giving me $900 checks. Like, I was pushing it. Like, I was making sure, like, we're gonna be good. But I stayed at my cousin's house for probably, like, literally like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. And it just so happened that my aunt's ex-husband, he was a landlord for properties. Y'all know what a landlord is. He had a couple properties, and he had an availability for an apartment. So I went to go see the apartment, but somebody was still staying there. And he like, well, yeah, she's about to move out at the end of the month, so you can just, start paying off the deposit, and then you could come and move in. So that day, I actually gave him, if the apartment was only going to be $650, apartment was going to be $650 a month. I gave him the $650 that month to start, paying in installments to pay it off, because like I told y'all, I didn't have no money saved up. That is a good tip though, to be honest. Like, if you don't have all the money saved up, don't worry about paying a big lump sum of like the first, second, and last deposit or whatever. Do your research in advance, and then you can kind of like talk to the landlord, especially if you find something that's not available at the moment. You can pay off in installments. That way you're not paying a huge lump sum. So it could be like every other check, or every check, half of every check, whatever. Way easier. So I gave him a $650 that day, which probably was like a week after me living with my cousin. And then within the next week, he like, well, she's saying that she can't find nowhere to go, but I do have the downstairs apartment, which is available now. If you want to take that, you could just move in here. So I'm like, well, I'm not, I don't have all the money right now, but would I be able to pay just a little bit more per month in order to move in? And he was like, yeah, you could do that. That's cool. That's another way y'all can do it too. You got to negotiate, okay? You get where I'm going with this? It had to work. So I honestly didn't even look at the apartment. I didn't go there to look at the apartment. I didn't care what it looked like. I did not care. It was a home, a roof over our head, heat, whatever. This is our home. That's all it was. It was all the way up. It probably was like 35 minutes from where my parents lived at. So I was all the way out the way. I didn't have to worry about running into my parents. None of it. So I actually moved, and I think at that time, yeah, I was talking to my mom at the time. So I told her, I know when I told her, like, she was just like happy and stuff like that. She didn't really say too much. She was just happy because she like, you do need your own place. I'm not sure when I started talking to my dad again, because he was like completely heated. And I was mad at him because he said some words to me that day that a father should never say to their kid ever. I don't care how mad you are. So I was really upset with him. But yeah, I ended up moving into my apartment, and it was literally like a downstairs of somebody's house, literally. Like, because the house was a duplex. So the girl lived upstairs, which was set up like an apartment, and my apartment was set up like a downstairs of a house. It had, as soon as you walked in, it was like a really big living room with a little fireplace and a big mirror, and then you know that little closet that be underneath the steps? That was my bathroom. So you can just imagine how tiny my bathroom was. It was literally like in the same closet door. My bathroom was inside of a closet. It was like a little stand-up shower in there, a toilet. I did not care. I was grateful, whatever. I did not care. And my bedroom was the dining room. Literally the dining room. But I had, it was like a really nice big space though. Like everything was big, more room than what we needed. And the kitchen was huge. Like the kitchen, I had cabinets going. I had big pantries, and it was just huge. The kitchen was huge. And then I also had like access to the backyard. I mean, it wasn't a backyard. It just went to the back. It was like a little shed and then went to the back. But the one thing I didn't like about it was it was an apartment in the basement too. And her boyfriend was crazy, yo. They always was fighting. They always was doing stuff. And I could walk down, like I could go out my kitchen and go through the shed. I could go down and I could go in their apartment if I wanted to. They had a door and they would lock it, but I could get down there. So, but yeah, and it wasn't that bad. Like I went and got me an air mattress. I did not care. I went and got me an air mattress. And it's crazy because the guy I was dealing with at that time, I asked him to buy my air mattress. I didn't even think about like asking him to buy me no bed or nothing. I just needed something to sleep. I didn't care, y'all. I did not care. I went to Dollar Tree. That was my first time learning about Dollar Tree, y'all. Ever since that day, I was in love. Like, I went to Dollar Tree. I brought all my dishes. I brought my broom, my dustpan, my mop, my bucket, cleaning supplies. I brought everything I needed. Everything I needed for literally probably like under $100. Everything I needed to move in. Because I was on a budget. Like, I really was, I wasn't broke, but I was broke. Like, I didn't have it like that. And I honestly just didn't want to go in there just spending and splurging and, because I really didn't, it was just a place to be, a place for us, a shelter for real. And I didn't want to dazzle it all up. And of course I wanted to make it feel like home, but no, I didn't want to do all of that. So that was the first time I moved out. And honestly, I stayed in that apartment for like 3 months. And then I ended up totaling my car. And then I ended up moving to another house in North Philly right at the end of the same month because it was too far from work. But my lease, I didn't have a year lease. I did have a month-to-month lease, so I didn't break my lease, which was good. But anyway, y'all, that was my first time moving out. I can say like my experience, it was pretty good. Like it was definitely an eye opener. It told me within those short months of being in that one apartment, it just told me like I just learned a lot. But excuse me. But with that being said, that's when I was 18. I'm now 23. And I have a ton of advice for y'all, okay? If you are thinking about moving out, I don't care if you have a baby, if you don't have a baby. If you are thinking about moving out, my number one advice to you would be to save up 6 months first, if possible. Like, if you're in a situation where it's like, oh, I live with my parents, but I just don't want to be here no more. I'm ready to move, and you don't have like a legit reason, like or you're able to stay home. Stay home. Save up 6 months. Do your research. Make sure you look up. Don't just move into something because I failed to mention when I moved into the apartment, it was roach infested. I had to call him like, come send an exterminator. Like, I didn't just move into an infestation. It wasn't like a little roaches here. It was an infestation, like everywhere. Like, they were there. So he ended up bringing an exterminator and fixing it. And I had to tell him, like, I'm not paying you rent until you do this because, like, what the hell? So he ended up coming to do that. Y'all, when y'all tell a landlord they not getting no money, they gonna come fix it. But he ended up coming to do all of that, whatever. But yeah, you just want to make sure you do your research. If you're moving into an apartment complex, Google that apartment complex, read the reviews. Only focus on the bad reviews. I know that might sound weird, but the bad reviews are 10 times out of 10 true. 9 times out of 10 true. You might get some mad people, but 9 times out of 10 they are true. If not, it's very bits and pieces that are true, and you'll see that the bad reviews kind of like line up. So you want to pay attention to that. You also don't want to be like just putting everything in your name. Like, of course, if you got to get the utilities in your name and stuff like that, now today's age or whatever you want to say, you can go get a $45 Wi-Fi plan with Xfinity. It's prepaid, so you can pay month to month. You don't have to run your credit. You don't have to do any of that. So don't go in and be like, oh, I gotta go get this $200 cable bill and because I got my own apartment. I need to do it. No, nope, pause. Don't do that. Don't try to look cute for your friends. F them, sis, bro, whatever. Go get a $40 Fire Stick. Pay $45 a month for your Wi-Fi. I do it now. I do not have cable. This is what I do. And me and my son, we still living fine, okay? Because I made that mistake. Huge mistake. Ended up messing up my credit by doing it because I couldn't afford to pay for the cable. It was just a mess. What's another thing? Y'all, I know it might be scary to move out by yourself the first time. It might seem like you gonna get robbed, you gonna get murdered in the house, and everything is just gonna go wrong. It's not. That's not gonna happen. If you feel that way, get a security system, whatever you gotta do. It will cost less than moving in with a friend. Okay? It will cost way less than moving in with a friend. Because just with me personally, I just feel like friends can't live together. Like, depending on who you are, it might have been a success for you, but me personally, terrible. Just about anybody that I tried to move with, it went bad. Like, it was just, no, I would never recommend it. Like, and I had a good relationship with this one girl, and we bought a house together, and it was so bad. Like, we still don't talk to this day. Like, and that was what, 3 years ago? Don't move in with nobody, y'all. If you can help it, do not move in with nobody at all. Tell sis she could come stay the night. You can come over whenever you want. Girl, you can get a key, maybe. But you can't stay here. I cannot put your name on this lease. We not about to go get this $2,000 house because she is going to leave you in a quick second, and you will be responsible for all of that, okay? But if you do decide to move in with somebody, make sure that you can afford the rent by yourself, okay? Just in case, make sure that you are able to cover the full rent and the full cost of the full monthly expenses of taking care of that house and food and everything like that. Make sure that you can afford all of that by yourself, just in case, okay? What else would be? Let me see. Don't be inviting everybody over your house. And I'm talking to the females, okay? If you dating somebody or whatever like that, don't invite them over your house. Let them take you out. Let them take you on dates. Go somewhere else. Don't go to your house, okay? Because y'all know, like I know, and we know, we all know, guys they're flings, okay? They're here one day, they're there one day, and they're gone the next day. So You don't want this person just because you like, oh, I'm excited, I'm grown, I got my own house, my mom can't tell me no boys, oh, well, I'm having boys over. No, don't do that. 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 No, no, no. Because you're going to be mad when you try to cut bro off and bro end up popping up at your door, knocking on the door, acting all crazy, all loud. Da, da, da. That never happened to me, but that's what I'm scared of. So, no. And no, it happened to me. What happened to me before was somebody, I was talking to this guy, and he like FaceTime me, like, come outside. And I'm like, huh? He like, come outside. I'm like, come outside where? He like, I'm outside your house. I said, well, why would you be doing that? I didn't tell you to come over. He like, oh, I just was going to come and see you. You know, I was riding on a dirt bike, and I just wanted to meet me, you know. And I'm like, no, I'm not home. And I'm like, don't ever just pop up at my house. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, only invite people over your house that you're fully comfortable with. You know him for months, years. And yeah, if you just start talking for a week, don't invite that man over your house. He don't want to taste your Alfredo. He don't want to taste that. He don't want none of that. No. So, yeah. Let me see. Do I have any more advice for y'all? I don't even know. Just don't take on too much. Like budget. That's what I'm going to say. Budget. Like I said, save up 6 months if possible. If not 3 months, you want to have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C when you living by yourself. Because A, B, and C is going to always happen. Okay? It always appear. It always here. Life is crazy. You want to have a plan. You don't want to be getting stuck. Is what I'm trying to tell you. Not when everything is in your name and your credit is on the line, which should be the most important thing. And I know my biggest thing was I'm not going back to my mama house. I'm not going back to my daddy house. So I know y'all want to move out, or y'all want to move out the right way, so that way you don't have to go back. Okay? And I had to go back once, y'all. I'm gonna make that another story time, because that was really humbling experience for me. Okay? And I'm telling you, you don't want to experience that. It's not cool. It is not cool. So I'm doing everything in my power now, this time around, to make sure that I don't have to do that again. But anyway, I hope that this video has helped somebody, and I hope that y'all like my story time. I have a lot more coming because I have a ton of stories to share, and I think that my mistakes, y'all can benefit from my mistakes. Okay, I have made quite a few of them, so I'm definitely going to be sharing that with y'all. And yeah, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Do not forget to subscribe. Yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Which way you gonna be? You probably gonna be down here or down here, whichever one. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And yeah, I will see y'all in the next video. If this video is upside down this entire time, I'm going to be very upset.